Hello and welcome to Neo-Geo Classics. In this installment, the game is Magician Lord, released in 1990 by Alpha Denshi. This was their first game for the system, and this game was released for both the AES and MVS, and was largely considered to be, at the time, the system's killer app. If you had an AES, or if you were going to the arcades, this was the game that many magazines at the time would tell you have to play. Personally, I don't really have that many nostalgic memories for this game, except for reading about it in magazines. This game was never in any local arcades that I ever frequented, at least not that I remember. And it was, the Neo Geo's answer to Mario and Sonic. It was a platformer for the system. So, with all that said, let's throw in some quarters, or virtual quarters, and play some of this game. Now, as I said, I don't really have any nostalgic memories for this game, so I'm kind of playing it just sort of fresh. The game controls pretty much like an NES platformer or action platformer would, where you only have two buttons. You have a shoot button and you have a jump button, and you have your arcade stick or D-pad to move around. Your character can morph into several different forms, and that gives you different abilities, and it's kind of like, I don't know, like the Powers in Mega Man kind of thing, to give you additional abilities. So, this is, like I said, was released in 1990, so very early for the MVS and AES, so it's not exactly a powerhouse of visuals, but eventually, it would get, the Neo Geo would show off some pretty amazing talent. And this game is not that bad looking at all, considering, what the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis and, the TurboGrafx were doing at the time. This was, way beyond that, but even so, it's kind of a simple game. So I picked this up, and I turned into a dragon. I can breathe fire. Awesome. One thing I have to say about this game is I'm not really a big fan of the music. The music is kind of incredibly forgettable. And, for a killer app, that's kind of a real shame, because, you think Neo Geo, you think Sonic, or you think Nintendo, Mario, what do you think of? You think of, the music to accompany those fantastic games, like the Mario and Sonic games, or the Bonk games. They all had great music. This game, the music is kind of incredibly forgettable. Okay, it turned into a shinobi, I guess. Get hit a few times, and then die. It kind of works like the original Metroid in that you can also shoot up as well as directly forward. I died again. After this game was released for the AES and MVS, and it was quickly declared as the system's killer app, it was also ported to the Neo Geo CD and CDZ, and it was quickly the killer app for that too. Since its original debut on the AES and MVS, this game has appeared on pretty much every Neo Geo collection ever released. If there's been a Neo Geo collection, it's probably on there, and that's because, of its high-profile original, I died again, I'm game over. But luckily, you get to restart right from the bosses. So like I was saying, the game is on every collection because of its high-profile, killer app status that it had when it was originally released in 1990. Personally, I'm not a very good player at this game, and probably that's because I have no practice at it.
What imprudence is you human beings? Face your trial by God.
Ooh. Voice acting in a game in 1990, and it didn't sound like utter crap. This was the very first Neo-Geo game to employ scaling, and you'll notice that in the enemy fireballs as he throws them towards you. You know, they'll get bigger the further they get away from the enemy. You know, it's probably no big deal to anyone who's, you know, seen, like, the Super Nintendo had, like, sprite scaling and that sort of thing, but this was the first time it was seen in an arcade game for the Neo-Geo, so, you know, this was kind of a big deal at the time. Hooray, the power of continues will make me win. So, I kind of feel like I'm playing, I don't know, Castlevania mixed with Mega Man when I play Magician Board, but with music that isn't fitting either of those series, because Castlevania has fantastic music, and obviously Mega Man does. But Magician Lord, again, I hate to drive home this point so many times, but music isn't so good in this game. It's also strange that because of its you know, killer app status, that this game never appeared had any sequels. You know, considering there were like so many Metal Slug games and so many King of Fighters games, you know, and all SNK's big franchises would go on to have sequel after sequel. Except for this one. This was the only Magician Lord game ever released, and it wasn't ported to anything else. There was no Super Nintendo version, for instance. You know, like Takara did a bunch of Super Nintendo ports, and also Sega ports and Game Boy ports even of multiple. I died again. You die in 2 hits. That's kind of unforgiving. They did a whole bunch of, you know, lesser ports of Neo-Geo games. Like they did The Art of Fighting and Garo. No, not Garo. What am I thinking of? They did Art of Fighting. Crap, I can't think what it is. Anyway, they did a whole bunch of the fighters for SNK. Alright, so let's I feel like a Mega Man right there. That's totally a Mega Man move, to just dodge the enemies by going down on the steps. Ah, dang it, I knew that was going to happen. You're not very agile, and that's a problem, you know. A magician should be able to, like, I don't know, teleport around or something. He just has to walk. You know, it's a much slower platformer than, say, Mega Man is. Also, I'm using a D-pad to play this, and I have to say it's a whole lot easier than using an arcade stick. Because platformers, generally speaking, don't work very well with arcade sticks. They can, I guess, and you can get used to them, but, you know, platformers just work better with a D-pad. With fighting games, you know, that's debatable, whether if you prefer a fighting stick or an arcade, or a D-pad. But, you know, I sort of like, you know, like a little bit of both, but for an action platformer, you need a D-pad. So, you know, as bad as I'm playing here, I'd probably be doing a whole lot worse if I was using an arcade stick. Damn these guys. Damn it. If I was actually putting in quarters, I would probably have spent a good chunk of change now. Dang it. You die so easily. Alright, turn me into the ninja. The ninja's pretty agile, and that's pretty cool. You know, at least that's At least there's that, right? Going through these doors kind of reminds me of, oh, I don't know, like an RPG. How long am I gonna... Okay, there we go. And I land perfectly fine. Whoa! Oh, dang it, I should have got off. You know, I have to say that this game is kind of interesting, but I don't necessarily like it all that much. I think that it's, I can see why it would have been popular early on, but there are better Neo-Geo games, and, you know, games I'd be rather playing than this. I guess I say that because I'm not very good at it. So if you're a big fan of Magician Lord, you know, I apologize for not being better. Man, am I not good at this game.
I'm destined just to die.
Okay. Ooh, scaling. Check out this boss. Whoa. I have to say, that's pretty cool. An original boss, you know, using the scaling abilities in mind. You know, pretty clever programmers came up with that. Die so easily. Well, alright. I should bring this video to an end. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions about this game, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. If you like this video, please click that like button, even though I'm not very good and I apologize for that. You know, it's still, you know, encourages me to make more videos like this. So, yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.